Hey, good morning, y'all. We got a couple of things cooking up today. One of them being a little bit of Texas brisket. Okay, we're gonna smoke this flat cut brisket, put it out there, let it do its thing, and also gonna intermix because it takes such a long time. For lunch, I got this thing going I saw on YouTube, and we're just gonna experiment. So check it out, y'all. Now, as I'm waiting for my smoker temperature to get up to 225, so it's almost there. I'll just give a quick rundown here. We took the flat cut brisket. This was done last night. I smeared just a thin layer, very thin layer of mustard to act as a binder in order for the seasonings. Seasonings in the rub to really stick to it. I do that on both sides. So one of the little tips I kind of seen is that when you're getting your rub to set in there, it's more of a pat versus a rub. Oh, and yeah, it's ready. So let's head on out. So for this, I'm using a Char-Griller with the smoker box attached to the side. Got the coals going. Now I'm monitoring my temperature. The temperature gauge, the thermometer that comes with this smoker is not that great. So I do have an external probe in here, and that's the control that y'all saw me check out. So got my fire going. Throw some mesquite in there. Like I said, this is gonna be a Texas style. So let me throw the meat on there. Take it. Now, as you can see, the way I got the smoker set up is coming through the side. Then the outlet or the out valve is on the opposite side. So, got the brisket on here, fat cap down. That way it kind of just holds in and protects the meat from the heat. And I got the thicker side or the flat side of the flat cut towards the heat source. Boom. And we just sit it in there, keep an eye on it. Now, tech tip of the week. Y'all see this crazy orange stuff? What I did in order to kind of trap the smoke in there a little better is I sealed it with a high temp gasket. And see, it's doing its thing. It's working. While that's out there, I literally am just gonna let it sit and monitor. I only got one probe in there, so I'm just gonna monitor the temperature of the fire itself. I wanna keep it at 225. That brisket was around 5 pounds, so I'm thinking maybe 6-7 hours on the cook. We'll go and check it in a couple hours to see if it's really developing that bark and if the rub is starting to set in. If not, then we'll check it another hour after that. And then once it hits that core temp of around 160, 165, we're gonna wrap it up and really get it past that stall point. So, I don't know, hang out. At lunchtime though, I got something for y'all. All right, y'all. I said we had something special for the lunchtime. We are still waiting on the brisket. It's smoking, currently sitting at about 226 degrees on the fire. So we're watching it, but this right here, okay? I'm actually editing the video from when this redfish was caught, and we're gonna follow this recipe by Ryan Myers one of the spear fishermen over in Hawaii. He says he can make a fish sandwich taste like a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna fillet this thing up and we'll get to it. Boom. I didn't want to show y'all the whole part about cutting it off of the body. It makes a pretty good mess. But as you can see, I kind of prepare the area. Got the skin off, we got it off the carcass. We're gonna clean up some of this blood stuff, give it a good rinse, and continue on. Now that everything is pretty much cleaned off, I'm still leaving the area wrapped up like a episode of Dexter. What we're gonna do is we got the redfish, bubble blade, hey. We're gonna cut these into sandwich size. Kailani, you wanna come show them your happy dance? No? All right, another time. Kailani has a really nice happy dance, y'all gotta check that out. But we're gonna cut the fish into like sandwich sizes. And again, we're getting this recipe off of Ryan Myers. Check him out. I'll drop a link for his channel. And according to him, this will taste very similar to a Chick-fil-A sandwich. So what we do, drop the fish in, drop the fish in, boom. And then we marinate the fish in pickle juice. Now, I don't know how he figured this out. Maybe he worked at Chick-fil-A. Y'all got Chick-fil-A in Hawaii? I don't know. But he just marinates the fish in pickle juice and pickle juice alone. After that's marinated, we fry it up, throw it in some bread, and we'll see. But until then, sit tight. All right, y'all. Back, ready for lunch. The girls are on their way back home now. So I do want to show y'all. I drained the pickle juice out. Got the oil going. It's gonna go egg wash, flour, egg wash, flour. Now this is just plain all-purpose flour, but I'm about to hook it up. You know, the Danos. So we're gonna season it up a little bit. Maybe this might not follow Ryan's recipe exactly, nor the Chick-fil-A recipe, but dude, like you can't go wrong with Danos. Boom. Now this is how I know when the oil's hot enough. Take a little pinch of flour, and when it starts to send itself off to the sides when you drop it in, so I can tell right now the oil's not quite there, but once it is, I'll show you what's up. It's ready. Check it out. Get a little pinch of flour. This is how you know the oil's hot enough. See how it just starts to shoot away from the center? It's good to go. Now, let's try this. First go at it. We'll go from the egg wash straight to the oil. And we let it cook up. Yes, sir. It's going. Looking nice. Now for the bun on these, using the King's Hawaiian Sweet Rolls. I got this oven set at about 400 just to make it super hot and toast them up. While the fish goes, while the bread gets toasted. The girls should be back there coming back from a medical appointment. They had to get their eyes looked at or something. But we got some good lunch waiting for them. Let's go. Now, it's perfect timing because the girls just got home. But you can see, I'm trying to do the Chick-fil-A style with a pickle on the top bun. Fish is on there. These are the perfect test subjects for this sandwich because these girls know some Chick-fil-A. See how they feel about it. We are in the middle of the ultimate test. The girls did get their eyes dilated. Say hey, Aya. How does it taste? Yeah? Does it taste like Chick-Fil-A?
No, but it tastes
Tastes better?
better.
Oh man. Good? Alright. So, there it is. That's the lunch. Back to the brisket. So the meat's pretty much hit its stalling point. Hey. What I'm gonna do now is pull out the probe and wrap it because I don't have any butcher's paper. I am gonna use parchment paper for this one. The reason I'm using parchment paper instead of foil is because the paper is gonna let it breathe and let moisture out versus foil that traps everything in. If you leave everything in, you're gonna trap in the moisture. You're gonna lose the bark. It'll be not as crispy. I almost said soggy, but whatever. Now, on here, when we just had the meat on the grill, we had the fat cap down. Make sure when you wrap it, you throw it back on the heat, it's going to be fat cap up. So just meat facing down, all the fat that's still in there is going to render down and really soak into the meat. So see how fast we can do this. By us wrapping it in the paper, it's going to trap in more heat and help you get past that stall temperature. So just throw this probe back in there. 150 degrees is hot, barehanded. Set our smoker probe back. Boom. We'll just continue on at 225, monitoring the meat till we're around 195, 200, 203, whatever, and then we'll let it rest. So you finally at, it's bouncing between 194 and 196, so I'm gonna call it 195. And that's just what it is. So at this point, even though I'm ready to chomp into this, it's still not done. What I'm gonna do, I don't know how, put that there, and we're just gonna wrap this. It's gonna sit in the oven to rest. The resting part is pretty important because that's when all the juices that are trying to escape out are gonna settle back into the middle. Let it rest, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And yeah, and we'll cut into it. See you in a little bit. Last step is what it comes down to. So you're gonna be really good or an absolute disaster. Unwrapped. It's been sitting for about 45 minutes. And now the trick is to cut cross grain on this particular one. It is going this way, I think. Yeah. So let's see what it does. Nice little smoke ring. You see the red around there. Boom. Might not be the most perfect brisket I ever made. The appearance of it though is really nice. That smoke ring is awesome. Can you zoom in on that? Dang. Let's try it. Yeah. Is it the most tender? I don't know. Let's see. I saw this trick. Yeah, if it bends over the knife like that, you're good. Yes, sir. Well, that's all we got, y'all. It's a lot of food between the brisket and the fish sandwiches earlier. Hope y'all enjoy it. Till next time. Peace.